Welcome back to BSTT. It's Ben here. Today I'm with Jordan, or Sports Talk with Jordan and Jacob, and we're going over NFL free agency predictions. So let's get right into the video. So I just wanted to let you know these predictions, the ones actually on the screen with the teams, are my predictions, and Jacob and Jordan are going to be telling me their opinion on them and where they think they're going. So first, we have Von Miller, and I have him going to the Rams. What do you guys think about it? And where do you think he's going? Let's start with you, Jordan.
Well, at first, after long consideration, I had Von Miller not going to the Rams. When he first got there, he wasn't happy. He wanted to be a Bronco. But after further consideration, after the Super Bowl, after everything that's gone down, I do believe he'll be staying in Los Angeles, but not for the Chargers, but for the LA Rams. Von Miller, if he retired, that would be quite sad, and he definitely would make the Hall of Fame. But Von Miller staying on the Rams. Jacob?
I don't think Von Miller is going to be a Ram next year.
Where do you think he's going to go, and why?
Here's what I'm thinking for Von Miller. He's a veteran, and most good players, like 3 championships on their reservoir, Hall of Fame caliber players. Right now, Von Miller has 2. So if I'm guessing, he's going to go to a team where his presence is going to be felt and where he has a good chance of winning a championship.
Like the Rams.
Have a good chance of winning a championship, though?
It's very hard to repeat a championship and win one twice in a row. I think he had a good run here, and like you guys said before, he wasn't happy when he got there, and I think he still isn't happy. Honestly,
He's still salty.
I see him going to be a mentor at a team that looks good to win. I think I see him going to the Buffalo Bills. They took Gregory Rousseau, the edge out of Miami, in this past year's draft, and I think he's going to be a mentor to Rosasu, and I think he likes Buffalo because there's a good chance of winning another championship there.
Yeah.
So what you're saying is that you think Buffalo can win the championship?
Absolutely.
That's a good take.
Buffalo winning the championship.
Yeah. I also see Buffalo winning the championship, but personally, I think if he retired today, he'd be a first ballot Hall of Famer. And
without doubt.
Yeah, but yeah, your take is really good, and I could also see him going to the Bills. So our final conclusion was Von Miller to either the Bills or the Rams. Now we have Juju SmithSchuster. I have him going to the Giants because Giants need a receiver, and although people in Pittsburgh like him, I don't really know if he likes it there. And I could see him going to a big market city like the Giants where he's going to get paid. And Daniel Jones needs options, like we talked in your video. Here's a plug for you. Is Danny Dimes the answer? That's on Sports Talk with Jordan. But yeah, I could see him going to the Giants to also mentor Kadarius Toney, because although he's not that old, he's considered a veteran. He's been in the league a lot. But yeah, what do you guys think about this? Graber?
Personally, I think Juju SmithSchuster will be in the exact same case, except it's going to be on the New York Jets. Hear me out. I've had this take for a while. The Jets need another receiver to supplement Corey Davis and Elijah Moore. Right. He could be a great mentor to Elijah Moore. And people forget that before this last season when he didn't play, he had 90 catches for 900 yards and about, I want to say, 5 touchdowns, which are great numbers for even like a first receiver on a team.
Yeah, he was great.
It'd be extremely helpful to the Jets, and I think that's where he's going. And I think a contract can be anywhere between 10 and 15 million since he's off the injury.
Yeah.
I see what you guys are saying about him going to the 2 New York teams, or I guess the New Jersey teams in this case. But Juju SmithSchuster turned down more money last year to play with the Steelers this year. I may see him sticking with the Steelers only because he's loyal. He wants to be there. The Steelers, maybe I do believe they could be a great quarterback away from making a playoff push, because last year they were undefeated 11 games into the season until, of course, they lost. But the Steelers can be getting a quarterback. Maybe Juju stays. That's what I think. I do see him staying still.
Yeah. Also because besides Pittsburgh, a lot of people around the league, like fans, they hate him because he used to dance on the logos like Jackson Mahomes. But I think, like, I've moved past all that. I think you guys have also, like most people, but there's still the few fan bases that are salty about it. But yeah, Juju Smith-Schuster, we have him going to either staying with the Steelers, the Giants, or the Jets. Now, we have Cam Newton. I'm just going to say it. He's either going to retire because he's either going to retire or be unsigned because he hasn't looked good in the past few years. And he doesn't have an arm. He has good IQ and stuff like that, but he's not a good player. He's old, and besides from his MVP year and when they were in the Super Bowl, he's never been that good of a quarterback. He's been average at best, in my opinion, besides that one year. And he looked terrible last year, which is why he got cut before the season even started. And then he got re-signed because the Panthers needed QBs. And he looked terrible there. What do you guys think? Jacob?
Here, I have a little bit of a hot take, but you have to hear out my reasoning.
Aye.
Cam Newton has been terrible since the 2015 Super Bowl. Well, he was decent the first 3 years after, but really after that, in the 2019-2020 season, he's been absolutely terrible. Here's what I feel, though. I see Cam Newton go to the Arizona Cardinals. Why? Him and Kyler Murray have extremely similar play styles. And also, Kyler Murray is small and mobile, making him very prone to injury. Cam Newton could be a good mentor for Murray, and since he's in good shape, if Murray got hurt, which there's a high likelihood of that happening, Newton could fall right into Cliff Kingsbury's offensive system and maybe even win some games in a tough NFC West.
Yeah, I could see that happening, but I don't think he's even going to get the chance because of how he's looked the past few years. Although it would be a really good signing, it's kind of like he looks so bad that no one's even willing to take a chance on him. What about you, Jordan?
Yeah, I don't see him going to the Cardinals. I just can't see it. I do think that Kyler Murray will be there for the foreseeable future. But where I just have him retiring. I don't think he has anything left in the tank, anything that any team would really want. I think teams would be better off just drafting a newer quarterback or signing someone else. He's kind of towards the bottom of the list of where you would sign him. Yes, he could have a tiny bit left. Maybe he goes somewhere and has a great rest of his career. But I just don't see him going. I think he could just go and sign. Maybe he'll play in the XFL, USFL, another league.
Or
I don't see him staying in the NFL.
Yeah, or what I think might happen is he might retire and then become a QB coach somewhere, like in Carolina or Arizona, like Graber said before. But yeah, our final result was me and Jordan have him retiring, and Graber has him going to the Cardinals to be a backup QB. So yeah, now we have probably one of the best receivers in the league, Devonta Adams. I am going to San Fran. What about you guys?
I completely agree with you, Ben. In addition, San Fran has some decent cap space, and in addition to Devonta Adams could absolutely make them a Super Bowl contender. They have an inconsistent running game, but Kyle Shanahan's creativity, including Deebo Samuel lining him in the backfield as a halfback, is extremely potent. And with the return of Raheem Mostert after a bad ACL tear, Deebo Samuel, Devonta Adams, and potentially the mobile quarterback Trey Lance behind the center, I could absolutely see San Fran making a push for Devonta Adams, and once they get them, they could be a top 5 team in the league and a prudent Super Bowl contender.
Yeah, I agree with that. What about you, Jordan?
Well, I actually kind of agree with Jacob here. I do see him going to San Fran. Imagine the combo of Deebo Samuel and of Devonta Adams. That's pretty much unstoppable. Stopping one of them is nearly impossible. So that combo, plus who knows what the QB situation is. Is it Trey Lance, Jimmy Garoppolo, someone else? But with 2 receivers, QBs will be even more inclined to go there. They made an unexpected playoff push this year. I just see it as a great fit for Devonta Adams.
Yeah,
don't see him going to the Green Bay Packers with that cap situation.
Yeah. Also, because I don't think he wants to really play with Rodgers anymore. Because knowing me, especially, I'd want to leave after seeing all the drama Rodgers creates every season. And plus, I think Rodgers is going to leave this year. So, if Rodgers isn't there, I don't think he wants Jordan Love throwing to him. And he should go to the Niners to have either a young quarterback throwing to him like Trey Lance or an experienced one like Jimmy Garoppolo. But yeah, so do we all have him going to San Fran?
Yes.
Yeah.
Alright, so Devonta Adams to San Fran. Rob Gronkowski, I have him going to play for the Patriots because now that Tom Brady is gone, I think he wants to go back to where it all started. And yeah, basically. What about you guys?
Personally, I see Rob Gronkowski staying with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Even though he has a great history with Bill Belichick, he has performed with good numbers, and I think he'll take more money, which I think he's very interested in, when going back to Tampa Bay, and he'll get a lot more targets since the Patriots already have Johnny Smith and Hunter Henry at tight end, who are both on 4-year deals getting paid a good amount of money. I see him going back to Tampa Bay, and I see him being a good tight end there, maybe even top 15.
Yeah, I could see that also. It's just kind of like, I don't know, I think now that Brady's gone, he might want to go back, because as I think you all know, Brady and Belichick, by the end of their tenure there, they had some beef, and I don't think Gronk was even a part of that, but I think he's just like friends with Brady, so he left. Now that Brady's not there, he might want to leave. But what about you, Jordan?
I'm going with kind of a more, obvious answer in the Bengals. He said he wants to play. He said he wants to catch passes from Joe Burrow, word for word. There was some speculation originally that he was retiring, but it was reported that he's not retiring. But I do believe Cincinnati could be his landing spot. Obviously, they won the AFC last year. They made it to the Super Bowl. They fell short, but I know they have CJ Azuma right now at tight end. But a tight end duo of Gronkowski Azuma with Jamar Chase at receiver, with Joe Burrow at QB, that could be an unstoppable team in the near future. I do believe they're just a couple pieces away. Obviously, the Bengals need a stronger O-line. If the Bengals can manage to do that, I can see Rob Gronkowski in the orange and black.
Yeah. And that's actually a good take, because not only did he say that, but the Bengals, they have a good tight end already, but imagine they had that duo of him and CJ. Imagine that. They'd be completely unstoppable, and Gronk would get, what is this? Is this his 4th ring?
I'm not sure. Jacob, do you know how many rings Gronk has?
I believe, yeah.
Yeah, so this would be his 4th. And that would make him not the greatest tight end ever, but top 15 for sure.
Right.
And without a doubt, first ballot Hall of Famer. But yeah, that's what we got for Gronk.
Yeah.
Now we have Zach Ertz, and although he played really good in Arizona and he was getting a lot of targets and stuff like that, I think he's going back to Philadelphia. The fans love him there. He's a fan favorite. He liked playing there. And he's starting to get older, so he's not going to make as much money, but I think Philly will pay him also. What about you guys?
I think Zach Ertz is going to reunite with Doug Peterson in Jacksonville.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Philadelphia was a tight end run offense with a lot of targets to Zach Ertz and Dallas Goedert. And I think the GM of Jacksonville is going to want a big target for Trevor Lawrence to hit on 3rd down plays. And I think Zach Ertz has absolutely proven himself to be that guy, playing great in the Super Bowl. And now that he's aged, he wouldn't have to be paid a ton of money, probably an under $10 million contract. And I see him going to Jacksonville and maybe making an impact for a young and hungry Jacksonville team.
Yeah.
Right, I see what you're saying. I'm actually agreeing with Jacob here. I wasn't sure about Zach Ertz, but I like what you're saying about Jacksonville. He was with Doug Peterson originally. Obviously, he just signed with the Jaguars after Urban Meyer is out. So I do see him there. Like you said, Trevor Lawrence needs targets. I mean, it's not the best situation down south in Florida, but maybe Zach Ertz can have a lovely career there.
Yeah. And now we're talking about the most controversial player in the league besides Antonio Brown. The guy who starts all the drama. Or Mr. State Farm, Aaron Rodgers. I have him going to either the Broncos or being out of the league. What about you guys?
Well, I have Aaron Rodgers. I don't believe he's Mr. State Farm. I do believe that can still go to Patrick Mahomes so he can get the Patrick price over the Rodgers rate.
The Rodgers rate.
But, all jokes aside, I do actually have him going to the Broncos. The Broncos are one of the teams that is a QB away from the Super Bowl. I know I mentioned it before with the Steelers. I have a video on my channel about where Aaron Rodgers can go, and I mentioned those three teams. But the Broncos seem like a contender. Their QB situation has not been the best. There's Teddy Bridgewater at the front of it this year.
Teddy was not terrible. He was actually kind of good. But Drew Lock's terrible.
He can lead them to a playoff.
Yeah, that's true.
Jacob, what about you?
I have, without a doubt, my biggest hot take in all the hot takes I've ever made. I have a sign and trade deal between the Packers and Seahawks with Aaron Rodgers and the Seattle Seahawks. Hear me out. This could be a potentially win-win deal. All Russell Wilson needs is an O-line, and Green Bay is one of the top O-lines in the league. They're both aged up there, so no picks would have to be involved. Unless since Russell Wilson's a little younger, you could trade Rodgers on a second-round pick for Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
Wants a bigger market, and I think Seattle's a pretty medium-sized market, so I think he could be happy there. The Pete Carroll offense should be fine adjusting to what Rodgers can do with the football in his hand, and I think both those teams can do some damage with the QB spot.
Yeah. Well, what's it called? I think that although your opinion's really good, and I could definitely see that happen, I think he's going to go to Denver because I think he also has something with like the Packers where he doesn't like something about them. Imagine going to a team like the Broncos where they're not division rivals, but I don't think like their fans like the Broncos because all this time they've been talking about Rodgers going there, and I think Packers fans hate it, so to spite them, maybe he'll do it. And also because the Broncos have looked, with their not-so-good QBs, they've actually looked pretty solid as a team. And imagine they get, in my opinion, top 10 QBs, not top 5. In Rodgers, that would be great. Even if it wouldn't be for that many years. Like, even if it would be 3 years and then he'd retire, they'd still make the playoffs a few years, and even they might go on a deep playoff run. But yeah. Now we have the final prediction in this video, Jason Kelce. I have him resigning with Philly because, if I'm being honest, he's starting to get older now, and he's one of those players that think they're going to be a one-team player their entire career. Like, he's played good there his last few years, made a few Pro Bowls, but I think he's one of the best players at his position in the league, and he'll keep shining in Philly. What about you guys?
Well, I actually agree with you, Ben. I don't really see him switching teams. Honestly, he could just be on the Eagles. I kind of like him, even though I am a Giants fan. There's nothing really to hate about him, so I guess the Eagles I have.
Yeah, what about you, Graber?
I personally see a team swap with Jason Kelce. I totally agree with he's a good guy. He seems like the guy that's going to stick with the team out. But hey, he already got a Super Bowl. He was loyal to the team for a couple years before that. Jalen Hurts doesn't seem like a complainer, and he's a mobile quarterback, so a good O-line is less of a necessity.
Yeah.
I see Jason Kelce. I don't currently know what team I see him on, but I don't see him sticking with the Philadelphia Eagles. Wait, hold on. I see him going to the Cincinnati Bengals. The Bengals are of an O-line, and this year they were an O-line short of a Super Bowl victory. And Jason Kelce's a great center, and they have the catch to pay for him.
And he has Super Bowl experience, and he has, like, playoff experience. When you have a player like that, they're perfect and a great mentor for some of the younger players that don't have all the experience.
can't teach experience. You need real experience.
Yeah. So that's it for today's video. Please like, subscribe, and have a great day. Also, subscribe to Sports Talk with Jordan. We just made a video on his channel about the Daniel Jones situation. But yeah, also turn on the notifications bell to get instantly notified whenever we upload. And if you agreed with these takes, comment down below. And if you didn't, comment where you think they're going. That's all for today's video. Bye.
Bye.